everyone, my name is Bilikis and you're welcome back to my channel. Please are you subscribed? If not, make sure you click on the red button right down there to subscribe and then tap on the notification bell. This helps you get notified each time we put up a video, so please subscribe. Yes, you can follow me on Instagram, Bilikis Signatures, and also on Facebook, Sewing Innovations. Then for those interested in our online classes, we have them every month. They are detailed videos and you can get the opportunity to ask questions directly from me. Yes. So please, if you are interested, contact us through the contact number in the description box below and also in the comment section. It will be pinned, making it the first comment you will see. Also for the sewing tools, we have them available. Get in touch with us. So today's tutorial will be on how to make a girl's dress. It's going to be a gathered dress with bow at the back. Oh my god, it's going to be very beautiful. Here I already have a sketch of what we are going to be making today, and I'm going to make it detailed. So right now, let's get started with the measurement and everything we need to know about the dress. This is what we want to make. Can you see the dress? We have the upper bodies and then the gathered parts. This part is going to be gathered. Also for the back, we have it divided into two, the bodies and then the gathered parts. So looking at the back, it is a deep V with a bow at the back, but the front is going to be a normal neckline. So what are the measurements required? First, the shoulder measurement, it is 13 inches. Then the chest circumference, 28 inches. Then the waist circumference is 26 inches. Then the nape of the neck, to the waist measurement is 9 inches. While the length of the total dress is 26 inches. So from here now to here is 26 inches. So the here now, from the nape to the waist is 9 inches. 9 inches for this. So that means we are going to remove 9 inches from 26, which is the total length of the dress, which will be 17. So from here now down to here will be 17 inches. So can you see what we have? The upper bodies is 9 inches, while the gathered part is 17 inches. So now we can start drafting with this. Here, so this is just 1 yard of fabric which I will use for the gathered part, while this is just a little fabric which I will use for the bodies. So what I'll just do is to divide it into two because it is okay for the bodies. The back is going to have a zipper allowance, while the front will not have a zipper allowance. So what I will do now is to cut this into two and then work on the front bodice area. So now I'm just going to make use of one for the front bodies. Then later I can work on the other one. So I'll make sure the lower part is aligned. So with this will be my waist line. So from here now, I just have to measure 9 inches for the upper bodies. But remember, we need half an inseam allowance to join this to the gathered fabric. So that will make it 9.5. So this is 9.5. This is 9.5, and I'm going to move forward again, measure 9.5, then make a straight line. That's the starting point. The next thing I'm going to insert is half of her armhole measurement, which is 6 inches. I'm going to make use of 6 inches. And come here to measure 6 inches and draw a straight line. Between 5.5 to 6 inches is fine, depending on how plump the girl is. So you might be wondering, at times I can use 5.5, 5. So it depends on the child you are making the dress for. So now I'm making use of 6 inches. So the next thing is to insert half of our shoulder measurement. Remember I said it is 13, so half of that is 6.5. Since it's a sleeveless dress, you can ignore the seam allowance because when it comes in a bit, it is fine. So that's why I'm maintaining the 6.5. So that's 6.5. Then I'm going to make a straight line For the shoulder slope now, I'm just going to measure 2 inches here. Then here I'm going to come down by either 1/2 inch or 3/4 inch is okay. Then connect it to the 2 inches point. So that's what I have now. So the next thing is to insert the chest circumference. The chest circumference for this girl is 28 inches. So when I divide that by 4, that is 7 inches. So I can just add 1/2 inch ease to it, which is optional, but because it's for a child, so ease is necessary at times. So that's 7.5 inches. Then remember, you will need 1 inch to sew up the side seam. So that will be 1 plus 7.5 inches, which will give me 8.5. 8.5. That's for seam allowance. So now for the waist measurements. Here I have 26, but I'll just ignore that. So whatever you have here, you can make use of it here, or the maximum you could do is to just remove 1/2 inch from whatever you have here. Here I have 8.5 now. I'll just make it 8. It's fine. Then I'm just going to connect that. So we are done with that. The next thing now is for the neckline. For the back, I want the back to have a deep V, while for the front, I'm just going to maintain the neckline. So for the depth now, I can just make it either 2 inches or 2.5. Anyone is just fine. Or 2.25. It depends on how high or low you want it to be. Then here, I can just make it 2.5 to 2.5. And I'm going to connect the neckline. So back now, I'll make that lower, so I can make it as low as 7 inches, and it's going to be a V. So when we get to the back, I'm going to explain that. So now let us finish the armhole area and cut it out. Here I have 5.5. I'll just get the midpoint of that, which is 2 3/4. For the front armhole, I'm going to come in by 1/2 inch. Then take my armhole curve. So that's the front armhole. Then the back. So this is the back. So I'm now going to cut it out. I'm now going to cut it. So the back armhole first, because we are going to use this to cut out the back. And then when at the shoulder, you will add 1/2 inch or 1/4 inch seam allowance depending on what you want to cut out. So let me do this so that you can get it. So for the shoulder seam allowance now, this is the, so that's the shoulder seam allowance. So for the front now, I'm still going to leave this because of the neckline for the back. So now I'm going to cut the back. Let me bring the folded fabric. This is for the back now, and I have my fabric folded. So it's folded now. Then I just mark out 1 inch for the zipper allowance, as you can see that. The next thing now is to place this on it. Make sure the lower part matches. You see. That's fine. So this is what I have now. So I'm now going to cut out the is quite thick. These. now I can remove the front. From this point now, I will determine the depth of the back. So I'll just make it 7 inches, which is here. So that's 7 inches. Then I'm just going to take my pattern master to make the curve. Remember, this was the point I cut out the neck width. So from that point now, so this is what I want to add. So this will be for the back. I'm going to slit this open. This is what we have for the back. Now this is the back. This is what the back will look like. Can you see that? So let us finish the front. This is the front. Can you see that? So let's set that aside and now move to the lower part. Sorry, I forgot the front armhole. So we are as good as supposed to cut the lower part. Remember, the total length of the dress is 26, yeah. So the bodice, we made use of 9 inches in length. So that means this gathered fabric should be 17 inches. Okay, that's good. So here I already have my fabric here, 2 fabric, one for the front and one for the back. So remember, it is 17 inches. So we will need half an inch at the upper part here to join it to the bodice, and then we need 1 inch at the lower part. So that is 1.5. Extra 1.5 inches is going to be added to that 17 inches, which will make it 18.5. So what I should have in length here should be 18.5, which is fine. Then now, for the amount of fabric needed, all you have to do is this: the waist circumference. Here it is 26. Just multiply it by 2.5. The minimum you could do is by 2, but on the average, just multiply the 26 inches or whatever circumference you're working with by 2.5, 2.5. So for her is 26, that should be about 65 or so. So that means half of one should be about 32 inches, but I just made use of 1 yard, which is 36 inches. So here now for one I have 36 inches. So that is 1 yard of fabric for the front and also one for the back by 18.5 inches in length. I had to slit one of the fabric. That's because the back will have a zipper. So that is why one of this fabric is slitted, as you can see. So what I'm going to do now is this: I'm going to take in half an inch by the side here, half an inch by the side here, so I'll have just one whole fabric. Then after doing that, I'm going to hem the lower part. The 1 inch seam allowance we left for that. After that, I can gather the upper part. So I will do that quickly now before we go over to the bodies. The fabrics now, so I've joined it by this side and also this side. Then I hem the lower part, and I've run 2 stitches on the upper part to be able to gather it, and I've started gathering it, as you can see. So I'm just going to gather it up, and while I'm doing this, I'll quickly explain the main body. So here I just had to get a very light lining because the fabric I'm working with is quite thick. So let me just separate them. It's separated now. So the first thing I'm going to do is to join it by the shoulders. How do I do that? So the armhole matches each other. And here it also matches. So I'm going to take in half an inch at the shoulder, half an inch here. The same thing for the lining. I'm going to do the same thing to that. So I'm going to join it by the shoulders. I've sewn the shoulders now. Can you see that? And also for the lining. So the next thing now we are going to do is to sew up the neckline and the armhole all together. So this is what I have now. I'm going to go through the armhole, half an inch or quarter inch is fine, quarter inch all through. Also to this armhole the same thing. Then from after the zipper allowance, I'm going to take in quarter inch all around and stop here. So that will be what I'll do now. I sewn the armhole and also the neckline. Then I notched it all around. Looking at it, you'll see I notched it all around. So what I will do now is to bring it out from in here. Can you see that was so nice? So what I will do now is to give it a good press and see what it looks like. Giving it a good press and you can see how beautiful it looks. So that is what we have down, and also the back. Can you see that? So the next thing for us now is to sew up the sides. And remember we left 1 inch for that. So just open it up this way, match it up, and then take 1 inch by the side. So from here 1 inch, 1 inch down. Then going over to the bow, I'm going to use this material for the bow. And what measurement do I have here? Can you see I folded it up and then measure. This is 10 inches by 7, 10 inches by 7. So what I'm going to do now is to turn it to the wrong side this way, and then sew in half an inch, then I'm going to sew and stop somewhere around here. After 2 inches, then I'm going to hand it this way. So from here now, I'm going to bring out all the fabric and give it a good press. What I did next now was to finish up the zipper allowance, because I'm not making use of a lining for the lower part. Assuming I'm using a lining, then I would have left it open to have a neat finishing. So what I did was to just finish it up and close it up this way by just 1/4 inch. So I did that to the other side too. Then for the bow, this is what I have. This is what I came up with. I brought out all the fabric from here. So the next thing now is to close this up, and then I took a strip of fabric, sew it up and bring it from the inside to have this. So that will be used to finish up the bow now. So this is what I'm going to have. Can you see? Then this will be sewn this way. Put it this way. And then I'm going to run some stitches over this fabric. Make sure it is tight to have a stable one. So I'm going to do that. That's aside. The next thing now is to take this gathered fabric. I've gathered it all. So this is what I have now. And I've hemmed the lower part. So I'm just going to, so this is the midpoint with the crease. I know that. I'm going to match it with the midpoint here, because before gathering it I already notched the midpoint. I'll just make sure it matches. I'm going to pin that down. Then I can adjust it. Then this side I want it to match too. So that means I'm going to adjust the gathers, because I still have excesses here. So that means I'm still going to move it towards this side. So yeah, I think it's better now. Then I'm going to pin this. Then I'm left with this. So that means I'm still going to gather it a bit, just a bit. So let me check it out now. I think I'm okay. So can you see that? I'm going to do the same thing to this other part too and pin it all down. So the sewn part here too has to match here. So I think I need to release this a bit. pinned everything all down. I've adjusted it and pinned it all down. So I'm going to take to the sewing machine now to just take in 1/2 inch and finish it up with my overlocking machine. The lower pattern, you can see it's so beautiful already. So looking at it, this is just so nice. So before I finish using the overlocking machine, first I want to close the zipper area. What do? I will have to turn it to the wrong side. This way. So can you see that? So what I will do now is this. I'll now have to measure 10 inches. So that will be where my zipper is going to stop. So what I will do is to just notch. So with that, I will know my zipper is going to stop there. So this is where my zipper is going to stop. So from here now, I'm just going to go in 1 inch and take 1 inch down. Here now, I've taken in the 1 inch for the zipper, as I've said. Can you see that? So I stopped here. So what I'm going to do next is to fix in the zipper with the 1 inch seam allowance that is left on the upper part. So I'm going to use the matching zipper to do that. And then for my bow, this is what I have. Can you see it's so beautiful? You can have yours smaller than this or the same size, it depends on you. So that is going to be attached somewhere around here. Or you can use a press button or a snap button. So just put it on, remove it. So let me just fix the zipper and show you the final result. This is the dress after fixing the zipper and also the bow. I just use needle and thread to tack it down neatly. And can you see how beautiful it is? Oh my God. It's good to have a baby girl, really. So now this is the front. You can see how beautiful it looks. Can you see that? This is just so beautiful, so beautiful. So ensure you make yours and share with us on our Facebook group, Sewing Innovations. And you can follow me on Instagram, Bilikis Signature. So tag me with your own dress. Make sure you make this for your girl. It's too beautiful not to be different. If my tutorial has been helpful, please give me a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe. I will show you on the mannequin what it looks like.